The concluding remarks of the debate on the expenditure, head of the Finance Ministry as the subject minister. During his speech, he paid a key attention on economic sector and elaborated the measures implemented by the government to expedite the process. The president reminded the chaotic situation in the country following the collapse of the economy in 2022. He said that the government has implemented a multifaceted program to enhance the economic revival, and those measures are now bearing fruit. Explaining the future plans to digitalize many sectors related to the economy, the president said the government's aim is to move towards a cashless transaction method. He said that as the first step, the beneficiary scheme related to the president's fund is now operating in a digitalized payment system, providing a great relief for the beneficiaries. At the same time, the government expects to bridge the gap between the city and the village. Most of the government payments will have to be made under the GovPay digitalized payment system in the near future. At the same time, the government will use the digital systems to eradicate various lapses in the system of catering to foreign investors. By using such a scheme, the government aims to eliminate difficulties and various malpractices related to the process of catering to new investors. In the future, there will be not to be face-to-face physical meetings between investors and the government officials, as such meetings can be arranged online. Commenting on the new advancements proposed for the power and energy sector, President Anurakumara Dissanayake said that the government's main aim is to introduce a stable price formula that does not depend on varying weather conditions. At the same time, new renewable energy projects will be commenced, targeting to enhance the portion of solar and wind power contribution to the national grid. He said that the government has identified proper places to launch such renewable energy projects. The president also said that the government is in the process of amending the Strategic Development Act, paving the way to eradicate corruption and malpractices related with the act during the past regimes. In the field of education, the president commended the role played by the Prime Minister, Dr. Harini Amarasuriya, in her capacity as the Minister of Education to introduce a modern school curriculum. President Dissanayake pointed out that there are certain government schools where not even a single new student has been enrolled at the start of the academic session. Therefore, it is the responsibility of the government to change the situation by increasing the facilities provided to schools throughout the country without any discrimination. The president had a message to the opposition as well. He requested the opposition to end previous practices of disrupting the government's economic process by using negative publicity and false statements. He told the opposition that in case they do not relinquish such outdated practices, they will be rejected by the masses of this country in the near future. The president said there is a new political culture grooming in the country and invited the opposition to join hands.
Leader of the House, Minister Bima Ratnayake, says that two-thirds of the peoples have used their mandate to end the nepotism political culture which has been deep-rooted in the country for about 76 years. He made this comment joining the committee state debate of the expenditure head of Ministry of Finance, Policy Planning and Economic Development in Parliament today. Minister Sunil Handunethi said that the people who questioned why Deshabandhu has not been arrested should now directly tell if could this be happened during the Rajapaksa regime. Now that the government officials are able to tell that Deshabandhu is a thug, what would happen if they said that during the past regime? Who has given this power to government officials? It is none other than this two-third majority government. Some opposition parliamentarians shout at the media due to the humility of Honourable Speaker. If former Speaker Chama Rajapaksa had been there, these opposition members would have been scared at length. In the past period, when the Minister Basil Rajapaksa looks at them, the then parliamentarians instantly become silent. Parliamentarian Rohini Kaviratna said that the government is attempting to call tenders to purchase summer Porsche amounting to 290 to 300 million rupees, one packet at a cost of 370 rupees. Minister Vasanta Samarasinghe said that it is very clear one packet is purchased at 135 rupees. Parliamentarians should prevent from highlighting unproven facts. Minister Bima Ratnayake said that every government has constructed bridges and culverts, distributed books, paid salaries and increased wages. However, they could not stop nepotism for the period of past 76 years. The present government never appoints relations to the cabinet. None of the staff of the President, Prime Minister or Deputy Ministers. Even though they have qualifications, they will not be appointed.
In the meantime, the K-8 training aircraft of the Sri Lanka Air Force has crashed in the Minuangate area in Variapola this morning. The commander of the Sri Lanka Air Force has appointed a special investigation committee to probe the crash of this jet. The crashed K-8 aircraft used for advanced training of pilots assigned to the No. 5 Fighter Squadron at the Sri Lanka Air Force Base in Katunayaka. The aircraft had taken off from the Katunayaka base around 7:24 am, with the crash occurring at approximately 7:55 am. The two pilots aboard the aircraft safely ejected and landed at the Minuangate school premises in Padaniya, Kurunegala, with the assistance of parachutes. Then they have been admitted to the Kurunegala Teaching Hospital, and the Variapola police have started immediate investigations. Chief incumbent of the Mihintale Rajamahavihara, Venerable Valavahangunu Vave Dhammaratana Thera praises the government for the decision taken to hold the National Poson Festival 2025 in Mihintale with full state patronage.
A discussion in this connection was held today at the Ministry of Buddha Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs. This discussion was held under the patronage of Chief Incumbent of the Mihintale Rajamahavihara, Venerable Valavahangunu Dhammaratana Thera. The theme of the Poson Festival this year is May the World Become Serene by Doctrine of Anubuddhu Thera. Various programs are to be implemented giving priority to Amisa and Pratipatti Puja. Attention has also been focused to provide required facilities to the massive crowds of devotees visiting the Anuradhapura sacred city during this period. Secretary to the Ministry of W.P. Senadhira, Senior Assistant Secretary to the President Sanjay Prasad Sirivardhana, and many representatives and state institutions were present at this discussion. Chief Incumbent of the Mihintale Rajamahavihara, Venerable Valavahangunu Dhammaratana Thera, said that the previous government removed the civil security force members from the temple premises and disrupted all facilities given to the temple. It also did not grant required support the Poson Festival. However, this year, the President, Presidential Secretariat, Head of the Department's Security Forces and many others came and pledged maximum support to make the Poson Festival a success. Thereby, the Poson Festival will be held with the sponsorship of the government and the support of the general public. With that, we go in for a short break and we'll be back with more news from home after the break.
Kutumi, fun tamai. Lassana fun loke.
Warrant to arrest the former IGP Deshabandhu Tennakoon and the suspects in connection with the shooting. During the time Deshabandhu Tennakone evaded the courts, the Attorney General had instructed the CID to not arrest the suspects according to the agreement made at the appeal courts until the completion of basic investigations. The suspended IGP Deshabandhu Tennakone surrendered to the Mathura Magistrates Court on the 19th of this month. Then he was remanded until the 20th of this month, and when he was produced before the courts yesterday, he was further remanded until the 3rd of next month. Meanwhile, the petition filed by 8 suspects asking to prevent from arresting in connection with the shooting incident at the W15 Hotel in Valigama will be summoned on the 26th, order issued by the appeal court. Former director of the Colombo Crime Division ASP Neville Silva and 7 others had filed this petition. Appearing for the Attorney General, Deputy Solicitor General informed the courts that she is not in agreement to extend the pledge given by the appeal court to not arrest the petitioners until the investigations are completed. Considering these facts, the pledge will be relevant only to ASP Neville Silva will be extended until the next hearing, since he has not yet been named as a suspect of this case. The Mathura magistrate ordered not to extend the consensus regarding the other petitioners. In the meantime, the United States Indo-Pacific Command has commended the assistance provided by Sri Lanka for maintaining a peaceful Indian Ocean region.
This has been conveyed during a meeting between President Andra Kumara Dissanayake and Commander of the United States Indo-Pacific Command, Admiral Samuel J. Pepero, held today at the Presidential Secretariat. During the discussion, Admiral Pepero extended his best wishes to President Dissanayake and the new government on their planned initiatives. He also acknowledged Sri Lanka's continued support in ensuring the security of the Indian Ocean region and maintaining a peaceful maritime environment. Furthermore, Admiral Pepero reaffirmed the United States' commitment to strengthening the enduring bilateral ties between the two nations and expressed support for Sri Lanka's new governmental policies. President Dissanayake conveyed his appreciation for the assistance provided by the United States in enhancing human resources within Sri Lanka's defense sector. The President also acknowledged the long-standing support extended by the US in this regard. Minister of Foreign Affairs Vijitha Herath, US Ambassador to Sri Lanka Julie Chang and several others were present at this occasion. Meanwhile, Commander of the United States Indo-Pacific Command, Admiral Samuel J. Pepero, engaged with members of the National Defense College in Colombo yesterday.
The Indo-Pacific isn't just vital to our militaries, it's the engine of global prosperity. These waters carry over half of the world's trade, and the security environment that we shape today will determine the nation's future generations. What happens in these oceans aren't separate theaters, but an interconnected security environment across the Pacific, the Indian Ocean, in fact, all seas. Today's battle space extends beyond traditional domains. Potential adversaries weaponize information as space-based capabilities transform everything from communications to maritime monitoring. Sri Lanka's key position at the crossroads of the Indian Ocean is strategically vital. I recognize the outstanding contributions Sri Lanka has made to international security. This leadership showcases values and capabilities that make Sri Lanka an essential partner. Your leadership is important. Your voice is important, as is your professionalism. And our partnership is important for the entire region's future. Security is not about hardware or technology. It's about trusted partnerships that are based on mutual respect. And that's why this relationship between the United States, Sri Lanka, and the other partners in the room, Saudi Arabia, Oman, and like-minded partners, is absolutely critical.
Secretary to the Prime Minister Pradeep Saputantri participated in the World Bank Group's Global Summit 2025 held from March 17th to the 20th at the World Bank headquarters in Washington, D.C. under the theme Digital Pathways for All. The summit brought together global authorities, development partners, private sector leaders and key stakeholders to explore innovative digital solutions and their role in advancing economic and social development. The summit provided valuable insights for Sri Lanka's ongoing digitalization initiatives, which are being spearheaded under the leadership of the President Anurukumara Dissanayake. During the high-level discussions, the Prime Minister's Secretary engaged with global experts to examine emerging digital technologies and strategies that can drive inclusive and sustainable digital transformation in Sri Lanka. On the sidelines of the Global Digital Summit, Prime Minister's Secretary Saputantri held discussions with key officials from the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. During these meetings, the Prime Minister's Secretary provided an update on the progress of Sri Lanka's extended fund facility and expressed appreciation for the continued support of the IMF Executive Board, senior management and staff following the successful completion of the third review under the extended fund facility in February of 2025. Pradeep Saputantri also held a meeting with Martin Reiser, Vice President for the South Asia region at the World Bank, to convey appreciation for the World Bank's extensive support to Sri Lanka. Martin Reiser reaffirmed the World Bank's steadfast commitment to assisting Sri Lanka's economic recovery and development. The discussions focused on future collaborations to ensure continued financial and technical support for the country's long-term stability and growth.
Now, coconut is a main plantation crop in Sri Lanka, and this information is about a youth who conquered the world market through the use of the coconut tree. Veerakwan Bandara is a youth from Galanbindu area who faced a host of challenges since his childhood and successfully overcame them. The coconut-related product industry, which he strenuously built up, has helped him to win his life. Initially, he roamed in villages plucking coconut and maintaining his family from that income, gradually converted it to buy coconut and to sell coconut husks. Later on, he was able to develop it into a business. A unique feature has been that his business, which was started with almost nothing, has become a world market-winning activity. By now, he has been able to earn a huge amount of foreign exchange to this country. Veerakwan Bandara's business includes coconut shells, coconut charcoal, coconut shell products and coconut coir dust. He has been able to provide employment to nearly 25 persons in his area. This youth, who started his life from zero, has been able to win the world market and set a stunning example to all unemployed youth. If any unemployed youth is willing to join this industry, Veerakwan Bandara is always ready to give his maximum assistance to them.
An ICA camp was held today for the employees of Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation at the SLRC premises. The camp was held under the patronage of J.M. Vikramarachi Opticians Institute. The employees underwent an eye test and accordingly steps were taken to provide them with the necessary spectacles free of cost. Chairman of the J.M. Vikramarachi Opticians, Dr. Mihira Vikramarachi, said that it is important for everyone to have an eye checkup. He added that the camp is conducted free of charge parallel to the World Optometry Day, which falls on the 23rd of this month, considering the cordial relationship between the national channel and our institution. Director General of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, Manoj Nadish Namarasinghe, said that since the officials of Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation are extremely busy in their official activities, they will have to take a great effort to go out and get these tests done.
And we have more news from home in brief. The 161st Police War Heroes Remembrance Ceremony was held before the monument at BAM's headquarters this morning under the patronage of Acting IGP Attorney at Law Priyantha Veerasurya. Commemoration ceremonies were held at all police stations island-wide in line with the Police War Heroes Day. International Forest Day falls today. To mark this day, a national tree planting program was launched today at a 2,000-acre state land in the surrounding of Pus Valley Oya, Barawa, Panalduwa and Viraketia in Wataraka. Minister Dhammika Patabandige, Deputy Minister Anton Jayakodi and many others participated at this occasion. A bilateral memorandum of understanding was signed yesterday to provide AMP coconut fertilizer to coconut cultivators at concessionary prices. It was signed between State Fertilizer Company and Coconut Cultivation Board. Minister Samantha Vidya Ratna was also present at this occasion. And that's a look at news from home. Stay tuned for international stories coming up next.
Prima Kottumi.
Now, Heathrow Airport being temporarily closed today after a fire at a nearby electrical substation that supplies it with power.
Europe's busiest airport warns of days of disruption, with more than 1,350 flights reported to be affected today. A fire at the North Hyde electrical substation in Hayes, West London has disrupted power supply to the Heathrow Airport along with surrounding businesses and homes. The cause of the fire remains unknown, although London police have stated that there is currently no indication of foul play. While Heathrow is experiencing significant disruptions, London's Gatwick Airport is operating as normal, with some flights originally scheduled for Heathrow being diverted there. So far, the level of knock-on disruption to other European airports caused by the closure of Heathrow has been relatively limited. Apart from cancellations of scheduled flights to and from Heathrow, some European airports have seen Heathrow-bound flights diverted. Meanwhile, 2 Sri Lankan Airlines flights scheduled for today have been cancelled due to the sudden closure of the Heathrow Airport in England. In a statement, the airline announced that necessary arrangements are being made for affected passengers while closely monitoring the situation at Heathrow. Flights to London will resume as soon as the airport reopens.
President Donald Trump says the United States will sign a minerals and natural resources deal with Ukraine in near future. He has also said that the efforts to achieve a peace deal for Ukraine are positive following his talks this week with the leaders of both the countries. President Trump made the comments at a White House event after signing an order to increase U.S. production of critical minerals. President Trump referred to his separate discussions this week with Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky aimed at ending Russia's war in Ukraine. Those talks, which fell short of Trump's aim to secure a full 30-day ceasefire, resulted in Putin agreeing to stop Russian attacks on energy infrastructure for 30 days, and Zelensky saying he would also accept such a pause. Ukraine and the US said this month they had agreed to conclude as soon as possible a comprehensive agreement for developing Ukraine's critical mineral resources, which Trump sees as a means to pay back the United States for its assistance to Kyiv. The Sri Lanka football team won the mutual football match played against Laos team.
And this is the first time Sri Lanka won a match against the Laos football team. The match was played yesterday at the new national grounds in Laos. From the beginning of the match, Sri Lankan players showed excellent playing skills. At the 60th minute of the first half of the match, Sri Lankan player Wade Decker claimed a goal and ended the first half 1-0. At the 54th minute of the second half, Adbun Rajmohan claimed another goal. At the 88th minute of the match, Laos also received a goal. However, at the end of the match, Sri Lanka led the game 2-1. According to the World Football Rating, Laos is at the 186th position and Sri Lanka is at the 200th. This tournament has been organized to get qualified for the AFC Asia Cup 2027 tournament. The match between Sri Lanka and Thailand is to be held on the 25th of this month.
Now, the Indian Premier League T20 cricket tournament commences tomorrow with the participation of 10 teams. The tournament is being held for the 18th time this year and will go on from tomorrow until the 25th of May. It includes 74 matches. 8 players are participating in this tournament representing Sri Lanka. The inaugural match will be held tomorrow between Kolkata Knight Riders and Royal Challengers Bengaluru at Eden Gardens, Kolkata.
And that's all the news for tonight. Join us again at the same time tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.